Now, even before I start, I want to ask you a question. Now, there are two girls you're talking to. एक लड़की जो थोड़ी सीधी है, she's a little conservative. Her fashion sense depicts that. She's not even engaging in her conversations because she's not seen the world, she's not explored. She's a little timid, she's a little shy when it comes to being intimate. She does not have a lot of experience. But on the other hand, there's another girl you're talking to. Now, she's a little bit more experienced when it comes to intimacy. She knows her fashion sense. She knows exactly how to wear her clothes to maximize her looks. She's looking pretty. She's looking gorgeous. But when it comes to being intimate, she's teasing you a little. And then she tells you that you cannot touch her. She's playing the art of hot and cold, and she's literally making you chase her. Which girl are you going to be more attracted to? Which girl is going to be more seductive? The second one. And the reason, because seduction is a game. And there are these three psychological games that women secretly want you to play. And there's a reason for that as well. Now, you see, attraction for men and women both work differently. For women, attraction is more emotional because she wants to feel something or else she's not going to feel anything. For women, attraction is more emotional. For men, it's more logical. You see an attractive girl, you're turned on. You're attracted to her. For women, it's happening on a deeper level and it's more emotional. The amount of emotions you make her feel gets her hooked to talking to you. Now, the problem lies in your thinking pattern. Because अगर तुम एक लड़की हो, तुम सोचोगे, okay, this woman values these all traits. So if I show her these all traits, she's going to get attracted to me. For example, let's take stability. Now, women who are at a marriageable age, let's consider India, women of the age 25 and above, they would value stability more than actually fun. But what happens when you actually show her that you're a stable guy, that you're a guy who brings a lot of comfort on the table? You need to understand that comfort kills excitement. If you're predictable, if you're boring, if you're comfortable and you're convenient for her, it's going to kill all the excitement. The more safe and soft you try to be, the more bored she gets. And that's what 99% of the men are doing. They're playing it so safe because they don't want to lose the woman. They want to be on a good side rather than actually attracting the girl. Now, when you learn about game philosophy, when you learn about approaching women, when you learn about sort of zoning in on your own personality, self-development, self-actualization, what you realize is the more I zone in on my own personality, maybe not all girls will like me, but some girls would completely love me and some girls wouldn't be able to stand me, but there is no in the middle. The middle happens when you're actually trying to please her, when you're trying to play it safe, when you have a people's pleasing mindset. The first game that she wants you to play is the emotional spike game because her attraction is completely dependent on her feeling emotions. So if she's not feeling anything, if you're playing it safe, she's not going to feel anything. Making her feel something is better than making her feel nothing. Now, as a man, the biggest realization I had was tension creates sexual energy. Those unexpected pauses, teasing a woman, and controlled intensity, whether it's with your eye contact, your voice tonality, the way your facial expressions are, it creates that emotional ignition in a woman. Now, initially when I was learning this, I used to be afraid of tension. मेरे को डर लगता था कि अगर कुछ बात ही नहीं होगी, I have to fill in the spaces, I have to keep on asking her questions so that the conversation is going forward and she feels that I'm not a dumb guy who has nothing to say. But that is where the problem lies because a lot of guys are still filling in the gaps, but they're not giving that space for that tension to grow. And when you actually want to get the girl attracted or when you want to make a move on the girl, that sexual tension is very important because उस sexual tension से तुम्हें ये समझ आएगा, is the girl attracted to you or is she trying to break that tension? Now, even if she's trying to break that tension, is she breaking that tension because she's a shy and a nervous person? Then you got to take the responsibility and lead it to an intimate direction. Or is she breaking that tension because she's not attracted to you? She considers you as a friend. Another thing you have to realize when you're thinking about emotional spikes is drama is not toxic if you're leading it. But if you allow the woman to lead it, it's going to be the most toxic thing that you can have in your life. Now, I don't mean that you're talking to a girl or tum suddenly drama create karne lag jao. That, hey, I don't like you. I'm not going out there. No, I don't like to do this. I'm not meeting you anymore. Don't do that. You see, what I'm talking about is a little bit of fire, a little bit of unpredictability, and teasing tension actually builds desire. So don't have the objective of making her feel comfortable, but aim for making her feel stuff because attraction for women is emotional and not logical. The second game that she secretly wants to play with you is called the uncertainty loop because women, they obsess over a man that she's not able to figure out. So the more you reveal early on, the less emotionally intrigued she feels. Now, a lot of you might think if I don't reveal everything, if I don't tell her what I'm looking for, if I don't tell her what kind of a person I am, is it even worth it actually going out and meeting her? But the mistake that most men make is rather than just revealing simple facts or rather than just talking about it and leaving things at a vague point, what most men do, because we're not used to getting good reactions, at least initially I was not. When I started practicing this skill, the moment you start getting good reactions from women, because feminine energy is so nurturing, it's so comforting, what you actually do is you try treating your woman as your therapist. And what happens because of that, she sees you as a weak man. She's not going to say it. No girl is going to say, oh, you're sharing all your problems with me. Fuck you. But she's going to feel it inside. And she she's not going to show it initially, but the more you keep on dumping all your problems onto her, she's going to let you know by ghosting you, by not talking to you. And this happens with a lot of my clients. A lot of my clients who join the program, they start going on 2 to 3 dates per week. Initially, the objective is कि उनकी quantity of dates हम improve करें. Once the quantity of dates reach 2 to 3 dates, then we improve the quality of women that they're hanging out with. Then we focus on that, because once they have built a skill, now it's time for optimization. Now, once they start optimizing it, because they're not used to that kind of beauty that they're getting in the program, they're going out on dates with really beautiful girls, they tend to overshare a lot. And that happens with most of the guys who are actually learning advanced dating skills. You see, a woman is going to open up when she leans in. She's going to open up when you make her open up, when you actually talk about stuff where she has to emotionally invest in the conversation. She's not going to open up just because you have opened up too fast. The moment you open up too fast, she's going to feel, yaar ye har ladki se aise baat karta hoga. Probably this guy is just opening up to every other girl on a dating app. Probably this guy is talking to all of these girls on first dates like how he's talking to me. The more she feels that emotional intimacy is just rewarded to her and she doesn't have to work for it, it loses all its value. And for her, she's going to look at you as a guy who's trauma dumping on her. A big realization I had about the uncertainty loop. The more I was certain with a lot of women in my life, the more I was telling about my plans for her, about us, the more I would share all these things, the less she would think about me. And the more silent I would be on all these things, which is called strategic silence, the more she's going to think about me and obsess over me. The more you practice strategic silence, the more she's going to constantly validate you. And she's going to validate you just to be reassured if everything is right. Does he actually like me? What is he thinking about me? Why is he not giving me the signs? And all of these questions make her obsess over you. So next time, give her clarity and direction, give her ambiguity when it comes to emotion, and certainty kills seduction. The third psychological game she wants to play with you, I like to call it the dominant stance. She doesn't want to control you. She wants to see your control over yourself and over her. Now, how does she do the dominant stance? Well, by testing your frame. She's going to test you. We can call it a congruence test. You can call it a shit test. I've made a complete video on the kind of shit test that a woman has for a man and how you can overcome all of them. All you need to do is click the pinned comment over here. You can watch the video. But all of these tests are there to test your core. Are there to test whether you are a confident man who's comfortable, a competent man who's calm in terms of adversity, or are you a man whose emotions are going to shift because deviation in her behaviors. But when you're assertive in your decisions in the way you talk, it triggers surrender. Because if you move with clarity, she's going to soften up even without knowing why. And the last realization I had playing the dominant stance with a lot of women is the more boundaries the man has, the more attracted she gets, because she starts looking at you like a guy who has higher value. Only a guy who has high value will have more boundaries. Only people will adhere to those boundaries because he has high value. So it automatically subconsciously communicates कि तुम्हारी value ज़्यादा है. The man who tells a no with a calm demeanor is equal to instant polarity, and polarity for women is actually very attractive. The more polarizing you are, the more she's going to get hooked to the conversation, the more she's going to get hooked to your personality. So lead in space, tone, and direction. Do not ask for a permission for each and everything when you're trying to lead specifically. Now, that being said, these aren't just some tactics. These are tools that high value men use even without realizing it. If you want me to personally help you in terms of your dating life, click the pinned comment, schedule a call with my team so that we can exactly break down how you can embody these principles and how you can live a more pleasurable dating life.